What is going on, guys? It's Alec, aka Python Don, back with another video. First video of 2023 and a voiceover for the first time ever. I'm gonna need to do this way because I tried editing this video originally without it, actually talking to the camera how I traditionally do, and man, it was a 2-hour plus video. This job, I'm gonna be able to consolidate it with this voiceover and give you guys a more direct instructional video on what it's gonna take to do this Xenon retrofit. I would give this job an 8 out of 10 compared to any of the jobs I've done so far. What you guys have seen on my channel hasn't really been a lot, but there's a lot of videos I've been waiting to post. This one included. This was shot last year. Coilovers, sway bars, all kinds of different things that we've done to the car. We will get into that real soon, so we're gonna start editing those. Compared to all the other jobs I've done, this was definitely the most custom, I'd say. So stay tuned for this video, guys. There's gonna be a lot of detail that you're not gonna find on any other YouTube video online on how to retrofit these. It may be a longer video, but hopefully the voiceovers can give you a little bit more clarity as far as what I was doing at the time. But yeah, so let's get into it. I'll show you guys what it's gonna take to do a Xenon retrofit and swap them into your halogen bulb E46 BMW. All right, so here I kind of have laid out on my bed all the items that I bought. Most of these are going to come in a kit, but they are going to be what you'll need to get this job done. So the first ones here I'm pointing at these lenses. So it's pretty nice that this generation of BMW E46 all the way up to 2003, you can just literally pop the lenses off. So super nice. You can buy those on eBay for pretty cheap. You get brand new lenses. These are the shrouds that are going to come with the Xenon kit. I'll go in more detail about what type of shrouds you need, but they're called the R shrouds. Here, you're going to be opening up your headlights. You might as well get some angel eyes. Those are 120 LED. They're pretty bright, and definitely would recommend if you're going to open the headlights, might as well just buy those. They're not that expensive, and they add to the look quite a bit. So for sure, you're going to need those. In the kit, you'll also get the ballasts and all the stuff you're going to need for the powering of the headlights. You'll also be able to choose what bulbs you're going to want to use. So just get some nice D2S bulbs. 35 watt ballast is kind of standard. I got 55 watts, but honestly, it's probably overkill. 35 watts is more than enough. You're also going to need a program called BMW Scanner 1.4.0. This is a really important part. This is what's you're gonna use to actually tell your car that you have Xenons in the car now, so to not freak out and turn off the headlights every time your headlights come on. So you're gonna need that, and a Windows old computer, old laptop, something that's got Windows XP on it or Windows 7. That's also a must in this list. So yeah, get those two as well and add them to the list. So with that, the kit plus the angel eyes is pretty much what you're gonna need. And then you'll need two other things on the side to actually get this job done. You're gonna need a Dremel of some sort with a sanding tool, and you're also gonna need a drill bit up to 1/4 inch. So those two things, we'll get to that part next. But yeah, with those items, that's what you're gonna need to do this job. So yeah, let's get over to taking out the headlights in the car. So this part's pretty straightforward. You're literally just gonna remove your side bulbs here, whatever you wanna call them, your indicators. Pretty easy to pop out. If you don't know how to do these, there's so many videos on YouTube on how to do that. Then the headlights are actually pretty straightforward. There's 4 bolts, 2 in the back, 1 tucked in between kind of the grill and the headlight, and 1 on the right. Get those out, pull your headlights out, and yeah, we'll be looking over what they look like when that's done. So I brought the headlights inside just to get a better explanation on what I was going to be doing. But essentially these yellow plastic pieces I was mentioning on these specific style headlights, these halogens, that's what you're going to be dremeling into to open up that hole to make it wide enough so that you can actually put the Xenon, the Bi-Xenon bulb itself kind of into that slot. So you're only going to be working on one side. You're going to be working on the outermost side of the headlight. So if you were facing the car, both the bowls that are on the full left side or the full right side of the headlight, in this case, this headlight we're looking at here, it's going to be the one on the right. So we're going to expand that hole with a Dremel. That's really the major modification you're going to do to this headlight. And then after that, everything else, you can clean the headlight up, bring it inside, and do the rest of your work inside. So popping the headlight lenses off, there's these 3 clips at the top, or 2 little prongs like I can see right now on the video at the top, 2 on the side. And you're going to pop those open. You could just pull the lens right off. It's really easy. You're also going to want to remove those rubber grommets. You can kind of see them here. There's these circular things. You're going to slice a hole into one of those, or both of those, I think, just to push some wires through, but that's really the only other modification you're going to be doing. So next video, we're going to be getting into dremeling, so I'll show you that. So here you can see I got the headlight lenses pulled apart, and I've removed those grommets from the back. Headlight bulbs are obviously removed. And I have the wrong tool on this grommet right now, on this Dremel right now, to cut into it. But I worked it with this for a little bit, and later I'll show you we're in a cutscene, and we're switching to the other bit that I used a few days later, because this project, guys, did take me quite a few days to get complete. But that's why I'm making this video, so I can give you guys all the tips that I had to learn on the fly. That way you guys can do this a lot sooner. But here's that headlight again without the front lens. Later we're going to drill right there, just below there, to drill a hole with the drill bit. But here we're going to work on opening this hole, like I said, and we're going to literally expand it probably another 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, so we can fit that D2S bulb in through the back. So I'm going to show you a little bit of time lapse of me working on that, and the bit that I used. So this is the right tool you're going to need, or attachment, I should say. It's like a sanding wheel. It was so much easier to use. You could spin it faster, and literally you're just going to go into a circle and slowly expand that hole until you get it large enough to fit that D2S bulb. And it's kind of intuitive. You'll see how much you're going to need. But I do have a video I'll clip in really quick, or like an edit, where you could see exactly how big that hole is going to be relative to the others. So this here, I'll freeze frame it there, but essentially it's going to show you that's kind of the size you're going to need, how big you're going to need to expand that hole. You're going to pretty much shave all of that to that outer ring and just open it up. You can even get your D2S bulb and kind of put it up against it and just kind of see how wide you're going to need it to slide that through, but just open it up all the way until yeah, you're going to be able to fit it through. After this, we're just going to really quick head on over and grab the drill bit, and you're going to get to drilling the face of this bulb right here, slowly starting with a smaller bit, and just make your way up. You're going to need to go all the way up to a 1/4 inch drill bit. So just get that part done, drill through that hole just below it. You're going to feed a wire through that hole, and that's why you need to make that hole there, wire with like a small little attachment on the back side of it. But after that, we're going to go inside and work on preparing the shrouds and the xenons and everything themselves. All right, this next step has everything to do with the shrouds. On your kit, when you go to buy it, there's going to be 2 options for these E46 shrouds. You want to make sure you buy the E46R shrouds. I think there's some called E46 Extended. You can see them here on the left. Those were actually too big for the headlight housing. I don't know where else you're going to use those, maybe in a different vehicle if you want to retrofit somewhere else, but use the ones on the right. They're called the R shrouds, and those are going to be the ones that are perfectly going to fit with the headlight. So that's tip number 1. Next thing you're going to need to do is the shrouds come with these rings that slide on the face of the xenon, and that's how you attach the shroud to the xenon, those little black rings right there. We're going to need to take that Dremel and shave the bottom portion of those black rings down so that they can fit flush into the shrouds themselves. So that's what I went and did. And then from here, the next step you're going to do is you're going to have these little clips that are on the side of inside the the shrouds themselves, you just take like a pliers or something and just kind of bend them back and forth until they snap, and just pull those off. The next step after that, what you're gonna do is get some liquid, or like that putty where you mix together, and I can't remember what I have here, what I call it, but you're just gonna mix that in a little pot, and you're gonna apply, there it is, JB Quick Weld. You're gonna apply that to the rings themselves and just pretty much glue them into place inside there. Let it cure, fill up the gaps in the space, let it cure, and then once that's done, the next thing we're going to go over and do, this is optional, but what I wanted to do was paint the inside of the headlights black to give it a more sporty look. So let's get those shrouds in, those clips in, and I'll meet you guys on that next step where I'm going to be painting the headlights. Hey, so here we are back outside. I set up a little paint booth for myself, you know what I'm saying? Bought some black Krylon paint, and essentially we're gonna paint the shrouds and the inside of the headlights. So so with this, you could actually paint the entire headlight setup, because the lights are now only gonna be coming out of the projectors, so it's totally up to you what you wanna do. I found some inspiration from a E46 online that I liked, where he had one of the housings, or one of the, I guess housings was still chrome and the rest was black. So I kind of wanted to copy that. And so what I did was I taped up one, and I wanted to leave, I think it was the high beam one. Yeah, I wanted to leave that where the high beam typically would be. I wanted to leave that chrome, and then everything else I wanted to paint black, including the shrouds. So yeah, I'm gonna go in now and start painting the headlights. So just pretty straightforward, tape it up. You know, what's cool about this job is, honestly, I am shit painter, and I oversprayed so much. Not oversprayed, but just I didn't give it enough time to rest, so it started to drip a little and just kind of weep, and I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. And honestly, once it's all put together and in the headlight, unless somebody were to like stick their head down into my headlights and really look, you almost can't even tell. So as long as this part's done relatively decent, and at least the headlights are painted and there's a coating on it, you don't have to take it too seriously. It actually ended up coming out sick. So even though I had that like extra paint, and you can see in some clips, I'll throw it in there, it looked horrible. They still came out really nice. So got these headlights painted, let them dry, and then the next thing we're gonna do is assembly of the actual xenons, angel eyes, all that. All right, guys, we are getting close to the finish line here. Here's the finished product. Headlights all painted with that high beam bulb, kept chrome. Yeah, this part's actually pretty straightforward. All we're going to be doing here is taking the D2S Xenon projector, which you see here, and we're going to be inserting it into the new hole that we made that is now bigger. And we're going to take a locking nut on the back side of that once it's pushed through, and we're just going to tighten that nut down all the way until the projector is a snug fit. This here, what I'm holding, is actually a harness that comes in the kit. It's pretty nice. It plugs in the back right there, and that's going to plug into your high beam socket in the car itself, so that when you pull the high beam stock to flash the high beams, it's going to communicate with this projector here to flip the door open to do the Bi-Xenon effect to give you that full high beam. That's why we don't need that other bulb there on the headlight assembly itself. So here I'm putting the D2S bulb in there, just making sure it fits, and it does. Here's the kit that's going to come with some accessories. You're literally going to use only the blue shiny locking nut, and this, I ended up using the silicone ring. You're not going to use this ring, okay guys? I recommend do not use it. You're going to need every single thread that is on the back of that D2S bulb right there. This little silicone thing, it eats up a few threads. You're going to need every single thread, because when you push it in through the back here, once you slide it into the hole, when you get the bulbs in and everything in, you're going to need every single thread possible to get everything nice and tight and sealed. Here's that locking ring. That locking ring is actually what's going to slide on to the back side of the D2S bulb and tighten it down, almost sandwich it in between the headlight housing. So I'm going to cut to that now, installing that. So let me real quick, let's do that. All right, so you're essentially just gonna grab your D2S bulb, slide it in through the front like I'm doing here, and then you're gonna take that locking ring, and once it's fully through the front, just try to get those threads started on that locking ring. You can either twist the Xenon to get it going, or just twist the locking ring itself. I think I was twisting, yeah, I'm twisting the Xenon here just to kind of get the thread started. And then, yep, just get that going, tighten it down pretty good. Again, don't use a silicone, don't use any of the extra little things that came in the kit. You're just gonna use this blue locking ring to fasten the Xenon to the headlight itself. So it will come with a tool. It's like a multi-pronged tool that you can actually add a 10 mil socket to the backside of it, and you can use that to really get some leverage and crank down the Xenon to the headlight itself. So get that part going. That's literally how you install the headlight itself. You just slide it over the front and then use the tool to tighten it down. So there it looks like with the Xenon in. Don't forget to run the install the harness and get it ran through the back before you fully tighten the Xenon down, because once it's tight, you won't be able to get back there to do that. So just make sure you do that. Get it tightened down, and then there's one other locking nut that's going to be in the kit there in that little package, that pouch, and that's going to be to tighten down the bulb once you install the bulb. There's going to be a black little locking nut that's going to slide over top of the threads that are there, and that's going to secure the bulb in its housing in place. So those are the only two items you're going to need in that Ziploc kit. You're gonna need the Xenon, use the blue wheel with the tool to tighten it and fasten it nice and stiff, and then put the bulb in there, and then use the black locking nut there to tighten down the bulb to the Xenon projector itself. And that's literally gonna be it for getting the Xenon, just fastened to the headlight. That's literally all it is. Now you're just gonna take your shroud and slide the shroud over the Xenon projector, and that's it. Your Xenon is side of everything is done. It's installed. That's more or less from here. It's just going to be the angel eyes. The shroud's going to look a little bit crooked, and I was really kind of picky about it. I was trying to make it look like perfectly level, but honestly, once you slide over, I can't remember what that piece is called, but there's this final piece that's going to go over the angel eyes and everything. Once you slide all that over the headlight right before assembling the lenses, it's going to kind of complete the look. So slide the shroud onto the Xenon, and that's literally it for installing the Xenon. That's all you're going to need to do. Next, we're going to head over to the angel eyes, which takes a little bit more finesse, but honestly is very easy. So let's do that. All right, so here we got the angel eyes. They're gonna come in a kit with some foam there, like some pads for mating to some different surfaces and stuff. You're gonna have these clips here, which are really common. You're gonna put them up there, kind of where I just shown you there. But we'll go in a little more detail as far as what it's gonna take. So let me skip ahead in the video a bit. These are really bright LEDs, super cheap. You can get them on eBay. Just look for the 120 LED. I'll link them below, but they're called 120 LED white. I think they're 6,000 Kelvin on the color. And I got that to match the color of the bulbs for the headlights as well. That way they're all matching the same color. But essentially, yeah, you're gonna run these wires through the back side of the headlights. So first thing would be to run those first. So just get those run through the back, and then you're gonna line up your angel eyes to the shape of each of those headlights. So we'll do that real quick. So after some trial and error, really the best method to get these installed is use the red roll of 3M double-sided tape. What you're going to do is you're going to attach a little bit of tape to the left and right side of the angel eyes, and then you're going to peel off the back side of it, and you're going to apply it to the face of the headlight itself. Then you're going to add that little bit of foam piece, that other kind of material that I bought. You're going to clip a little inch of it, put it at the very top, and then run your clip, the angel eye clip, through the front, just right through the middle of the angel eye to pinch onto that foam piece to give it a better bite. And that's literally how I installed it. So there's a time lapse now I'm going to show you that does all that, and I'll freeze frame it at the end so you can get a really good image of exactly how I set it up. But honestly, that's the best method of applying these. That 3M tape is really thin and nice. It grips really strong, and you could take some scissors to really get the tape cut to the shape of the angel eye. So best method of doing that. Run your wires first. Use the clip to pinch the wires and kind of keep them tucked in place. And it looks here like they're going to be exposed. You're going to see it. But like I said, once you put that shroud over the entire headlight, it completes the look, and it looks awesome. So this is the last step, guys. And then we'll go over to coating and everything, or not coating, getting the headlights literally plugged in and the angel eyes ran. And then the very last step is coating, which we'll get into. But yeah, do this, complete this step, and you'll literally have your headlights fully assembled and completed, ready to be put into the car. Let's go. Look at that shit, boys. Shit's so clean, guys. When you get done with this project, after everything's all said and done, hope this video helps. These are going to look so good. You guys are going to be so happy with the result. All right, guys. So now we're going to get into installing these ballasts and wiring the headlights up. So first step I would say would be to just walk over to your car without the headlights in the car yet and figure out where you want to put your ballasts. I'll clip in a photo now where I put my ballast. I have cold weather package, I think it is. So I have the headlight cleaning system, which I got rid of, but I still have the brackets that hold the pumps that would spray the headlights. And what I did was I took my the ballasts themselves, and I zip tied them upside down underneath those, that bracket, just to have kind of a tucked away space to put it. But in reality, guys, put the damn ballasts whatever you want them. Clean maybe the surface of any one of those metal surfaces inside the engine bay really well with like alcohol degreaser, and then you can use like a 3M tape to mount them straight to like the metal. But just get the ballast put somewhere, and then after that, you'll see on the ballast there's going to be 2 wires coming out of it. You're going to have one with these 2 little special connectors, and we're going to look at the diagram now to look at that. So you have these high pressure waterproof AMP connectors, and then you have a connector that's going to look really similar to what you would almost see in the car. So those are the 2 things coming out of the ballast. And then coming out of the bulbs that you're going to buy, whatever bulbs you get, this is a D2S xenon projector, so you're going to get D2S xenon bulbs. And they're going to come with the bulb itself, and you can see at the very top, there's 2 types of wires that are coming from that bulb itself. Not only do you have the bulb wire, you have this extra wire that looks like it's going into a socket at the top left of this diagram. So essentially, this is what you're going to be working with to get the car, get these headlights powered from the car. So how it works is, the best way I can think of it is, your car comes with, it's a halogen car. It came with a low beam and a high beam on both sides, a low beam and a high beam on the left, and a low beam and a high beam on the right. And each of those low beam and high beam bulbs have their own sockets associated with them. So at the top left of this diagram, that socket that's being dotted and highlighted in those dotted lines is your actual high beam bulb. I'm sorry, that's the low beam bulb. That's the bulb that's going to be powering the new D2S Bi-Xenons that we just installed into the car. And then if you remember on the projector that we installed, that little harness, that little black piece that connected into there, and it came with that little harness, that's going to plug into the other socket you have in your car, which is for your high beams. So if you have 2 sockets on each side of the car, left and right, The high beam one is going to go into the socket of, you know, that projector thing that came with it. And then the low beam one that's in the car is going to plug in now to these two prongs. So you're literally, the jankiest way to do it is doing exactly as it looks in this photo. You're going to have these prongs and you're going to slide them in the slits of the low beam harness in the car. And then you can just tape it up so they don't like fall out or something. But that's literally what you're going to do. And then the other one at least has a nice harness that came with the kit, and you can plug it into the high beam. Now, if you're smart, you just go and buy another one of those harnesses and you snip those slits off and you just literally rewire them together, and then you have a full plug-in on both sides, so it's nice and clean. Just clip them in, click it in on the low beam, click it in on the high beam, tuck your ballast wherever the hell you want it. That's essentially how the ballast is all set up. This diagram is actually going to give you a pretty clear image of what to do. So just follow that, and hopefully the little images and stuff that I clipped in and the way I explained it can help kind of give you a better idea. But that is the whole, you know, HID ballast running power to the headlights and stuff. So yeah, do that, and we're going to go over now to running the angel eye wiring, because that is a little bit different. All right. So the same footage I'm using to show you a little bit about the Xenon plugins, I'm actually going to just use this footage because I explained it pretty clearly on how to run the angel eye wiring. It's only 4 wires. You have your trigger wire. If you want to set one up, you don't have to. I actually am going to make a video of me showing you how to do that with the glove box, so you can have the angel eyes fade in and out. But you have a trigger wire, your actual power wire. Then you have one wire running down the passenger side, and a wire that's going to run across down to the driver's side, the longer one. And then you have the relay and then a ground. So it's 4 main wires, a relay, and then the ground that are going to be bolted to the same ground nut, if you will. But yeah, let's clip that video in now and I'll explain everything. So the angel eye setup is going to have this thing right here, this giant relay, and it's going to have all these extra wires coming out of it. One is going to be a trigger wire. The other one is going to be like a red ground. You can kind of see it there. This is where it goes. So both the relay and the ground go on the same bolt. Tighten it down here on this ground. Then you're going to get this wire here, which is, there's one identical to this wire, which is this one here. You're going to lay, everything starts here. So put the relay here and you'll see there's one of these which is longer than the other. The shorter one is going to go for the passenger side. The longer one is going to go across the car to the right down into the headlight. So start your wiring harness for the angel eyes on this side. Pull all the wires apart and separate them and lay them out on the table. Short one with lettering is going to go on this side. The longer one with lettering is going to go across the right. Relay bolts up to this bolt there with the power wire as well. And then you'll have a trigger wire and then another wire that looks just like a trigger wire, but in red, which is going to be your main power wire, which goes into the fuse box. So you can kind of see it. Let's see. If I pull this guy off, you can kind of see I have these 2 wires tucked in here. And then one goes under and into this guy. And you're just going to use a spade connector to attach it to the actual fuse box. It's a white, yellow, and red wire. It's the most prominent wire at the top. I think I might have a photo of that. I'll clip in as well. But that's going to be what powers the angel eyes. When you turn the key to ignition 1, they'll automatically come on. So that's really it, guys, for the angel eyes. Start at that corner there with the with that ground nut, and then just run your wires down the passenger side. You'll clearly see the one that's longer and the one that's shorter for each side. Plug your angel eyes in, and then use some tape to clean it up. Here I'm just showing you how bright these angel eyes are. They're awesome, and honestly, for the money, they're sweet. I have to lower the brightness just to the exposure, just to show you how bright they really are. But that's really it for wiring the angel eyes. The very last step is going to be coating these xenons, because when you turn these xenons on in the car, what's going to happen is, it happened to me for like a day or two, the headlights are just going to flicker and turn off because the car is sensing too much power and it's not recognizing what's going on. So you just need to go in there and code the headlights to make them understand that you have xenons now. So that's the very last step of this project, guys. We're almost at the finish line. All right, guys, so the very last step is going to be coating these headlights. So essentially, the car, like I said, is not recognizing that these xenons, this new power, is going to the headlights. So yeah, it's going to be turning off the headlights every time you go to turn them on. So they'll stay on for maybe 5-10 seconds, and then they'll flicker and turn off. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to buy a program or download this program. It's called BMW Scanner 1.4.0. And with it, you're going to get a OBD2 harness that connects into the car, and the other side is a USB that would plug into a computer. So you're going to need a specific form of Windows. I think it's either Windows 7, Windows XP. I think you can get this done on Windows 10 as well. So make sure you have an older laptop or computer. Actually, you're going to need a laptop because we need to do this in the car. That is running on Windows XP, Windows 7, or Windows 10. I think you can get away with it. But this part was very tricky for me. I recommend having this done before you even buy your Xenons. Make sure this program can be opened. Make sure you have a Windows 7 or XP computer that can run this. You may be able to get away with getting a MacBook and then partitioning it, a small part of the hard drive, so you can run Windows on it. I went through absolute hell trying to get this part done because I already finished the headlights and everything, and I did this part after all of that. I'm talking, yeah, get this part. Make sure you have a computer that can get this running. And it really is very simple. Once you have the program running, you literally plug it into the car. You on the left side there, you're gonna have coding, some coding codes or something. You're gonna click that, open headlights as a category, and then you're gonna get this menu here. And this is exact screenshot of what I took of all the check boxes that I have unchecked. On the right, you'll see there, all that. So if you just match this exact checkbox section and then click right on the bottom right there, it'll recode the headlights to let them know to not check for these certain parameters, because what's happening is the computer's literally checking the voltage for these certain areas, and it's getting triggered that, hey, these voltages are way out of spec, and it's cutting the headlights off. So you're literally going in here and telling the computer to stop checking these certain areas for the voltage and stuff. So it's really simple. Once you get the program running, you plug it into the car, open the program, go to that left there and go to coding. I can't remember what it's called right there. Coding screen or coding codes. I'll try to clip in a few screenshots of some other pages of it. But really the most important part is making sure you can even get the program on a computer, because Windows XP and 7 and 10 are kind of getting old now. Just that almost could be step one in a way. Just making sure this is running and you can get it working. And then once you do, all the rest of the stuff is cake, because at the end you can at least have the headlights coded. There is people online that have them, that you can search around on the forums if you have a friend that has an old laptop. I literally got my buddy's brother's old ass laptop from high school. That shit wouldn't even last 10 minutes a charge. Had like an extension cable out from the house, ran out to the car, like it was wild, but I was able to get it done. So if I can get it done after driving around 4 days with no headlights working because they kept flickering and turning off and shit, you guys can figure this last step out. Just buying the program though, just get I'll have it linked below. You can get it on eBay. It's like $30. It'll come with the disc with the program on it, and it'll come with the OBD scanner tool. You just need to find a computer that you can actually plug the disc into that'll run it and read the disc. But yeah, get that and then code these headlights using this exact screenshot I have here to click off the boxes that you need to check off. Okay, but once you're done with this step, guys, your headlights, you can turn them on. They won't throw any error codes. And honestly, this program is really cool for some other things. You can watch some other YouTube videos about BMW Scanner, and it'll tell you how to lock and unlock the headlights. The car. You can program some other cool features of the car with this. Lowering your windows down with the key, things like that. So it does come with other benefits to getting that program. So if you guys don't know about it, it's BMW Scanner. You're going to need it for this. BMW Scanner 1.4.0. So that's the end of this part, guys. Yeah, this is that last step. So get this part done, and yeah, I'll meet you guys at the finish line.
Flawless victory.
All right, guys, well, that's it for the end of this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It took a hell of a long time to edit and put together, and the job itself took me 4 or 5 days to get done. I'm nonstop working on it. So if you guys found value in this, I think after watching this and editing it myself, I could probably do this job in a day or two max. So I do think it's going to bring a lot of help to the community in the E46 forums, and you guys wanted to make some mods on your car. So grab one of your boys, show them this video and get out there and see if you can get this this job done. And yeah, if you guys found value in it, please give it a like and thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week on my new video. Got some other stuff working, finally gonna get to editing the rest of the mods and get you caught up on how the car is right now. So hope you guys love the video, give it a like and thumbs up, and yeah, stay tuned for more. See you guys.